As of today, One Piece will have hit its 800th episode. I know. Take it all in. As one of the big three shonen anime, it really is only getting bigger. But with 2017 being the 20th anniversary of One Piece, instead of celebrating, today is a time to mourn. Hello everyone, this is the RPG Monger, and today I want to talk about Toei Animation, or more specifically, the kinds of practices it has employed, and what it has done to One Piece over the years. To start this off, who even are Toei Animation? Well, so that we can get to the juicy bits quicker, I'll keep this brief. Founded in 1948, Toei Animation has a legacy like no other, with such famous titles under its name like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, and Toriko to name just a few. Not to mention, they also had a direct hand in propelling such iconic genres of anime like the mech genre. With such an extensive history, what could Toei be doing that is so bad? They've clearly had successes in the past, right? Well, since we're talking about them in terms of One Piece, let's take a bit of a look back in time, shall we? When the One Piece anime started out, each episode would adapt around 2 chapters from the manga, and that's completely fair. Usually, 2 chapters per episode is the golden rule of sorts for these kinds of anime, but over time, Toei has regressed to only adapting 1 chapter per episode at maximum. To give you an example, if you look at other anime who are acclaimed for adapting their manga all the way down to the individual panels, every one of their episodes will usually be up to 5 or so chapters from the manga even. But this is the part that isn't exactly Toei's fault. One Piece is a long-running shonen anime, if not the long-running shonen anime, with the only other shows rivaling it being the other beasts, like Dragon Ball to name an obvious one. With this comes the eternal dilemma of keeping a show running by the week, but all the while trying not to catch up to the most current chapter in the manga. To solve this dilemma, there have been many takes on a solution. For instance, maybe you could take the Bleach route and adapt the manga at a reasonable pace, but in turn pack tons and tons of filler when necessary, thus in turn making Bleach 45% filler, or in more simple terms, 166 episodes out of 366. What Toei does is quite different. On one hand, the filler percentage in One Piece is a whopping low 13%, or 106 episodes out of 800. Now, when I first found this out, I just could not believe my eyes. How do they even do it? Well, in actuality, it isn't as great as it sounds. What Toei will do to One Piece is, instead of going at a normal pace and packing in tons of filler when there is no other way, Toei will instead take the arcs and the original material from the manga and stretch them out drastically to the point where even the pacing of fights is utterly ruined. And while this never was a great thing, it has only gotten worse as the show has progressed, with the Dressrosa arc really getting hit hard by it all. I strictly remember in the climax of the arc, with Luffy having a showdown with Doflamingo, any and all tension of the fight would be utterly stripped away due to the massive amounts of reused animation and still shots. When you're watching a fight take place in an anime, the effect it should have on you is making you extremely tense and on the edge of your seat. With this fight on the other hand, I just wanted it to be over as the pacing of it all was completely demolished. Oh, and don't forget that with every episode now, coupled with an opening that is around 2 minutes long, there is also 4 to 5 minutes of recap that cut into the actual new episode, though sometimes they are shorter, thankfully. In terms of just about every show, pacing could not be more key, because with bad pacing comes even worse scenes. Like, if good pacing is present in any show, even mundane scenes can be made entertaining. Unfortunately, with One Piece, sometimes only putting in less than 1 chapter into an episode, it seems the show is only getting worse and worse in that regard. Moving on from Toei's incredibly horrible pacing, next is another issue that is frankly even more apparent. If you've been even watching a bit of the modern One Piece anime for the past year or two, then you have seen just how far the animation quality has degraded over time. While One Piece was never known for stellar animation like other anime are, it was always decent and just good enough to keep you watching. Well, why hasn't the quality been this bad in the past? What would cause this steep of a fall in animation? Honestly, it comes down to a few things. Things that for the most part all revolve around the budget. Outsourcing. Many big longer running anime do it, and it is very apparent when it's taking place. Usually, only the least important episodes will be outsourced, and for shows like these, that's more understandable. But even episodes that aren't outsourced seem to come out looking just plain lazy as well. Not to mention, the directing is just awful. Remember how I said they would reuse animation? Well, sometimes they will actually show the same buildings getting destroyed 3 times. Like, come on. That is just unacceptable. Sometimes the freeze frames will last for 7 or more seconds too. And the worst part about it is the quality of the characters in the freeze frames aren't even good. I swear, and I can't seem to determine why, but in the time between the Thriller Bark arc and the episodes after the time skip, the quality of the animation has just been getting worse. It honestly feels like once One Piece got to the high level of popularity that we've seen it have in recent years, Toei just got lazier and lazier. The worst part is that the anime is just as acclaimed as ever, with ratings being just as great as they have always been. With people like these watching it, it's almost as if there isn't even an incentive for Toei to make the anime have any sort of higher quality. Now, I could rant about One Piece's recent animation quality for hours, and I'm sure I won't be the last one to do it. So for this last segment of the video, I want to give you all a bit of advice. Please do not let the anime adaptation of One Piece ruin the series for you entirely. It's just not worth it. And this is hard for me to say, as for the longest time, I used to be an advocate for people to watch the One Piece anime. But if you just cannot bear to watch any more of the modern One Piece, by all means you should switch over to the manga. Even I, who has been caught up to One Piece for approximately 3 years now, even I am starting to prefer the option of just reading the manga instead. If I could say how I would do it if I had the chance to start over, this is what I would do. Firstly, I would not watch the anime in its entirety, and even if I did, I would skip any and all filler arcs. Secondly, I would just go and read the manga, only watching certain parts of the anime to see iconic scenes animated. In the end, here are some final thoughts. If Toei keeps going down the road it has chosen, then I can assure you that we'll be seeing a lot more of crap quality One Piece in the future. And if you still want to watch the anime, then that's fine. It all comes down to opinions and preferences in that regard. And honestly, maybe that new live-action One Piece TV series will end up being better than the anime at this rate. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, do subscribe, and today's cool thing of the day is the author of One Piece himself. This man has a work ethic unlike no other, with him barely taking breaks for just about anything. Hell, for the first 4 years of the manga, he took no breaks at all. So in recognition of the man who gave us the fantastic One Piece manga, I am truly grateful. So that being said, I'm the RPG Monger, and don't forget that each and every one of you are fantastic.